Hello, everybody. Hi. I hope you're all enjoying your day so far. Hopefully you had a chance to catch a power lunch, that you learned a lot at the breakout sessions. And also that you check out, if you haven't already, check out the exhibitor area. There's the social media lounge that's sponsored by HubSpot. They're streaming all of the tweets that are going on, so be sure to tweet, use the hashtags, and keep that conversation going. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed the previous speaker, Gary Vee. Interesting talk, interesting perspective, a lot of high energy. So we're going to keep that high energy theme going with our next speaker, possibly with slightly less profanity, although I can't really promise that. So I would like to introduce Michael Jones, Vice President of Merchant Development at eBay. He's a good friend of mine, a good friend of ChannelAdvisor. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Who gave me the whistle out there? Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. All right. So a couple things. Let me grab my clicker here really fast. So before we get started, I want to do a couple housekeeping things. One, if you work for eBay in any of its properties, stand up, please. Okay, we definitely have more eBay people here than we ever have in the past, and it's because this is a great conference. And I want everyone to know that the people that are standing up are here for you to ask any questions that you have about any of the business units that we've got. Please make sure that you seek them out, whether it's here, whether it's our event tonight, or at our booth that's over in the exhibit room. Okay, you can sit down. Thank you. Second thing, if you work for ChannelAdvisor, would you please stand up? I know there's more people than that here. All right. So it's really hard to put these conferences on. It's even harder to do it when you move it halfway across the United States like they did this year. And not only that, but these guys are a critical partner for us. And we would like to say thank you, and I'm pretty confident the customers would like to say thank you as well. So thank you very much for putting on this conference. Third, if you are a merchant, please stand up. So I'm very confident that I wouldn't be here, and that the eBay people that you saw wouldn't be here, and the ChannelAdvisor people would not be here, and we wouldn't have a business without you guys. We don't say it enough. We're going to start saying it more. We really appreciate the business that you guys have brought to us, and we look forward to growing your businesses more in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. And just when you thought I was done, I see some people from BH Express. You guys want to come up here real quick? Come join me on stage. Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Let's go, Sefton, Kevin. Come on. I got a timer, guys. Let's go. You can play a little music for them as they're walking up on the stage. Can I get my slides up real quick, guys? So, these people are joining me on this stage because of this number, which is 1 million. They are very close to getting 1 million feedback on eBay. 1 million feedback. Quite simply, this means that they've been delighting a lot of the buyers that come to look for a great product on eBay, and we really appreciate it. And I would recommend any of you here, if you want to learn about things about us, e-commerce, etc., these are great guys to talk to. So we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, by the way, I apologize. I'm going to be drinking this stuff that looks kind of bad because I don't feel very well, and I'm hoping this is going to keep my voice through the entire presentation, so I apologize. I'll be drinking it every now and again. I'll let you know if it actually works. So, last year, I was at this conference, and Scott actually brought up a really good point. His point was, at the time, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but it was, we had just acquired a company called GSI Commerce, and his comment was, eBay acquired GSI, they've acquired some companies, but it's not really clear to understand kind of where their overall strategy is and where it's going. And that stuck with me a little bit. And so I've been at eBay for just a little under 2 years now, visiting a lot of merchants of all sizes. And one thing I realized that we haven't done a good job of is talking about how we see the e-commerce world. And as a result, what we are doing to be a major player in it. So there are other events and talks going on to talk about top-rated seller. We've got the booth for you to go talk to other folks to get some of your questions answered there. So I'm going to let those folks dig into the nitty-gritty of day-to-day business. What I want to talk about today is how we see the world of commerce. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about mobile. Obviously, it's a big, growing part of the eBay business. You've heard it talked about by everybody the last couple of days, so I'm going to cover that a little bit. And for those of you that know me really well, unfortunately, I can't do Q&A today. However, I've been talking to quite a few of you. I've also asked Scott and David and others what things are on merchants' minds. So I'm going to try and answer a few of those questions. And then I promise tonight at the event, I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. Feel free to come up to me. eBay folks will go through any questions that you've got. All right. So, slides, please. So, we believe that shopping is definitely at an inflection point. And the part there's two pieces that are pretty important about it. One, it's definitely being led by consumers. Two, it's being enabled by technology. And when we talk about technology, what do we mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It's what you guys in this room and everyone has, which is this phone and this mobile device. We are seeing enormous penetration everywhere. Just me walking from my hotel room over here, I started counting the number of people. There are more people that don't have a phone that they're talking on, texting on, doing whatever they're doing, running into me on my way over here. But the bottom line is everyone has one, and it's definitely changing the world. And it's putting a lot of pressure on merchants and how they can grow their business and how they can keep up. But that's not it. We see other trends. Slides, please. We also see that there is, on top of mobile, it's starting to influence local. It's obviously also starting to influence digital. Digital is influencing social. It's all just this virtuous circle that's going around of what people are doing. And just think about some of the things that are out there today. So you've got, on the digital side, you've got Apple and you've got iTunes, you've got Zynga. On the social side, you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram. You've heard about all those things, right? They're all impacting the way people do things together. But I don't know about you guys, but the way I think is a little bit like Doug talked about earlier. It's hard for me to buy into the hype until I actually do something myself one day and kind of realize that I'm part of this overall ecosystem. So let me explain something that literally happened to me this weekend. And for those that know me really, really well, you will definitely see this playing out in my life. So one, I'm very forgetful. I lose an enormous amount of things. Wallets. I lost my iPad, no kidding, on the way here, left it on the airplane. So if you're flying United on the way back, you might get yourself a free iPad. But it constantly happens to me. I always forget things. So this weekend, my wife and I were actually working on putting together this little tricycle for my 2-year-old. And there was a little Allen wrench kind of thing. I'm also not very handy, as you're going to be able to tell as I describe this wrench. So it was a wrench thingy bobber that I did not have at my house. So we got in the car, we were driving around looking for a variety of things. My wife, who never forgets anything, making our relationship always interesting, said, hey, why don't we go get that wrench thingy? I said, that sounds good. Let me try and look it up. Didn't know what to call it. I'm looking on my phone. So I figured out the best way to do it would be to look for the toy, kind of figure it out, and maybe somehow I'd find the little wrench thing. So lo and behold, some site actually had it on there and showed what it was. So I then did a search for it when I got the actual name, found that a few hardware stores kind of in the area that we were at had it. So great. So we go to the hardware store. We happened to go to Home Depot. We went to Home Depot, and my wife decided that she wanted to get some flowers so we could plant. It's beautiful outside, etc. So I was pleasantly surprised by this, but I went and ended up getting all the things to purchase, and I went up to the checkout, and the Home Depot people that have the orange aprons on, which I'm sure you've seen, in the corner had a big button, and it said, pay with PayPal. Now, I'm sure some of you have seen that we've been rolling out nationwide PayPal point of sale where you can pay with PayPal at the point of sale at Home Depot. I was not aware that it was in Raleigh, North Carolina already. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and pay with PayPal. And being the person that I am, remembering everything that I do, I decided that I would get my wallet out, which I actually have. Literally almost forgot coming here too. And I decided that I would use this PayPal card to pay for my item. This is just one of many ways you can pay, but I thought I'm going to use this, I'll swipe it, it's going to be great. Do you think I had my wallet? No, I didn't, because I forgot it, of course. So I went, and instead, I actually asked if I could pay without the card, because there are ways that you can't pay. They said you can, so I put in my mobile phone number and my PIN and paid for it via PayPal. I had my mobile phone with me, and about roughly 20 to 30 seconds later, somewhere in that range, I got a text back from PayPal that confirmed that I had paid via PayPal. So that was pretty cool. And if you look at the slide that I had up there, you'll notice that of the things I just talked about, between the store location, finding where the store was, between looking up the actual product, to the way that I paid, and then of course I was excited that I paid via PayPal, so I put on my Facebook page that I paid via PayPal for people to see. I hit quite a few of those things in just kind of one day. And I don't think what I just said is that uncommon. There's a lot of people that as they're going to buy things, that's how they think about it and how they use their mobile device every single day. And so when we think about that and we think about how consumers are pushing the envelope, you start to think that there really isn't an online world and an offline world. They're coming pretty blurred together. And whether any of us like it or not, it's going to keep happening. And that's because consumers are the ones that have the power in their hands, and they're going to keep pushing as hard as they possibly can. So what's exciting about that? Well, what's exciting about it to us, and what I think should be exciting about it to you, is that if you rewind to 2008, and Scott was on this stage, and other folks in the industry were on the stage, what they'd be saying is, the online world is unbelievable. Just look at it. If you look at it, 2008, you've got a $325 billion total opportunity, and we're only 4% of it. So as we keep growing, it's going to be huge. Everyone bought into it. Everyone. Doesn't matter who you were. Doesn't matter if you're a merchant. Doesn't matter if you're someone not even in the business. Doesn't matter if you're an analyst. Doesn't matter who you are. Everyone bought into that that's the way the world was going to be. And a lot of you being here are living proof that, indeed, online became and continued to grow, and buyers continue to keep buying, etc. But now look at today. So you look and you see online is now 6% of the overall pie. But look at the red piece, which is web-influenced offline at 37%. That's essentially kind of the story that I just told. And there's going to be more and more of that. And those worlds are going to keep blurring. And so what becomes exciting about that to us, and I think should be exciting to everyone here as well, is in 2013, the estimate for commerce total is $10 trillion. It's a big number. And it's a big number that we should all be part of. Having said that, and looking at where we believe consumers are going and what they're doing, looking at what the market looks like as well, there's some challenges. So, first of all, these challenges are not unique to a segment of merchant. As I said earlier, for the last 2 years, I've been out chatting with a variety of merchants of all sizes, and so is my team. And it doesn't matter if it's a medium-sized business, a large business, a multi-continent brand retailer. They're all struggling with this. They're all struggling with, if I've got people showrooming, what do I do about that? Scott was making a good point about getting specialized SKUs, right? Is that the answer? There are people saying, but what about globally? I want to sell my products, and I need to get them over to the UK. I need to get them into China, or I need to get them into the United States. How do I do that, right? Also, the other piece is the pace of innovation. I think that is actually even one of the larger challenges. If you were here and heard Jeff Jordan from Andreessen Horowitz talk, Jeff knows a lot about commerce. He's been around the block. And whether it was at OpenTable or eBay or PayPal, when someone like that says the pace of innovation is getting faster and faster and cheaper, that means it's not slowing down anytime soon. So how do everyone here keep up? And how do you get more buyers? At the end of the day, how do I get more people to come look at my products? So these are non-trivial things to be a major player in this new world. So this is a slide I want to spend a little bit of time on. Let's talk about what eBay is and what eBay is not. What eBay is not is a retailer. We do not buy products. We do not make products. As a result, what we do is we figure out ways to make great platforms, great payment mechanisms. We look at ways we can get into customer service, fulfillment, so that we can partner with people, retailers or brands, that understand their business so they can continue to grow. That is what we are, and that is what we will be. I'm going to say it one more time. We are not a retailer. We do not buy products, and we do not make products. Therefore, we want to partner with you. So what does that mean, partner? Couple things. One, technology investment. So we invest $1 billion in technology annually to make sure that we are continually having great products that can consistently deliver for merchants. We're allowed to do this because obviously we have a balance sheet that allows us to focus on these investments on your behalf. We want to continue to do this. Second, we do have a lot of unique assets, whether it's the 100 million active users we have, whether it's the payment platform that we have, whether it's our newly acquired fulfillment centers that we have, web store platform, etc. We want to make sure that we are leveraging these unique assets and opening them up for you to be able to build your business. And we also realize that we're not going to build everything. We realize that there are people out there that have developed great things or that have great talent that we don't have, that we need. Over the last 3 years, we've spent $1.5 billion annually in acquisitions. That's a fair bit of money. Last time I looked anyway. So what do we get for some of that money? So this is just a few. This is not everything. But I'm going to touch on a few of them in a little more depth. But I do want to touch on one on here that probably no one in the room knows about. Critical path software. Critical path software had and still has, only now at eBay, some of the best mobile developers in the world. We decided we could not recreate that. As a result, we acquired the company. I'll go through some of our mobile numbers. I think a lot of you have used some of the mobile apps we have. This was a great use of our resources. I want to remind you of another acquisition that we did. You may have heard of it. It's called PayPal. We didn't build that either, but we bought it, and as a result, we're the leader in payments. So we will continue to use our minds and our balance sheet wisely to make sure that we're growing and helping you guys grow. So let's talk about customers too. You, the people that we've been out visiting. So we hear a lot of quotes, some good, some bad. One that struck me is this here, and I know you guys can read it, but I'm going to read it verbatim, which is, if eBay could become a technology platform and a commerce solutions provider, a partner that would really help us keep up and succeed, that would be really valuable. Now, a lot of you guys have been at this conference and have dealt with eBay for a very long time. I feel really confident that if someone put this onto the eBay that you've known in the past, you wouldn't see a fit. You should be seeing more of a fit, and you will be seeing more of a fit. Our goal is to do exactly what is here. So what does that mean? So how do I translate what consumers are doing, what we see in data, what customers are telling us? What does that mean at eBay? So this is the eBay house, as I like to call it. I got real creative with that one, as you can tell. So the goal we have is very, very simple. We want to enable consumers to buy anything, anywhere, anytime, on any device, period. But on the other side, we want to make sure that we're helping merchants be able to keep up with that at the same time. So we have 4 business units at eBay. I'm going to talk a little bit about each of them and how they fit as part of this overall strategy that we've outlined. So 1, PayPal. So PayPal has done a phenomenal job of becoming the online leader in payments. There's no doubt about it. Are there things we need to work on there? Yes. Are they continuing to grow? They're an unbelievably great payments platform. However, there's a big hole in PayPal, if you think about it. We used to go talk to folks all the time, and they would say, why can't you do things with PayPal offline? Like, it's great that you're doing things online. What about the offline world? That used to be kind of the nick against PayPal. So I walked you through my Home Depot PayPal POS story. So that is a product. That is something that we have. That is something that we're talking to many retailers about. The concept is very simple. We have a lot of PayPal users. We have a lot of people that have PayPal balances that want to spend those. We know by enabling that in the offline world, we can continue to get more buyers and more flywheel going in the PayPal system. The other one is PayPal Here, which is relatively new, that you probably heard of as well, which is this little device that you can hook up to your mobile phone if you're a small business and be able to take credit cards via your mobile device. My goal was to make sure we could give this out to everybody. That's not possible because they're doing a very good job of distributing these already. However, There's a little card that each of you guys got inside of your bag. I feel pretty confident that even if you don't have the card, you can still go over and talk to the folks at PayPal at our booth and sign up for these. This is a great concept. I think both of them are fantastic concepts. And it enables us to get more and more into the offline world. So I want to show you two things. One is a really good video that the PayPal folks put together, which is how do they view payments in the future. And the second is some testimonials of folks that are already using PayPal here, so you can kind of see how we view the world, and then also how people are actually starting to use some of these new products. You guys go ahead and show that.
Millions of people can now live, shop, and buy anytime, anywhere, anywhere. Because they have PayPal. It's innovation you can use and share with friends. Today, no matter where you are. Innovation finds exactly what you're looking for. It's putting advantages at
So a couple things about those that I want to make sure you guys caught. One is on the very first one, the thing that I think is pretty cool is at the very end, if you notice that they actually were able to go through in PayPal and actually change the funding source of where they actually wanted things they've already bought to go. That is obviously something you can't do today. That would be amazing to be able to actually do inside of the actual system itself to decide if you want it to be your own account, credit card, etc. So I think that's pretty powerful. Second is, and I would be remiss if I didn't plug this, the Pro Audio Star is also a top-rated seller on eBay, and so it's great to see that you've got the power of PayPal both online, the marketplace, as well as them doing offline too. So second, eBay. So many of you have been with us through a long journey at eBay. And I remember over the last 15 years of I've been doing business with all of you, having to deal with people saying things like, isn't eBay just the auction site? Isn't it just refurbished products? Isn't it just consumers selling to consumers? And the fact of the matter is, yes, that is part of eBay. And that is some of the power of eBay. However, eBay's changed a lot. And a lot of that has to do with you. Almost all of it has to do with you. The products that you've brought, the high quality service that you guys have brought, as well as just some of these great new products to the site. One of the things we used to hear from everyone pretty frequently the last couple of years, something that John shared with me right before I started, was that John would have some one-on-ones with merchants. And they would say to him, John, okay, it's great that you guys have made some progress here. We like where you're going. Obviously, we need you to go faster. But like, could you guys please do some marketing around eBay? We haven't seen you guys on TV. We haven't seen you anywhere. So we felt like the timing was right last year. So in Q4, as hopefully many of you noticed, we did a big ad campaign, both offline, online, and TV. We're continuing to do that in 2012 so that we make sure that we can get more and more people to realize the new eBay as well as become buyers to the site as well. The second piece that's up here on this chart is what we want eBay to be in the future. And that is, it needs to become a more personalized buying experience. We know that. You know that. That's something that we're working on. The other piece is we fundamentally believe that for us to win and for us to win together, that we have to make sure that we are the connected marketplace, meaning through all of these devices that people will be using, which is where we're putting a lot of effort. I'm actually really proud of the work we've done. I know we have a lot more to do. I was very happy to see that we were starting to get more aggressive on the marketing front to get ourselves and you out in front of more buyers. I don't know about you, I love the holiday ads that we did. I thought they were really funny. And before we move on to something else, I want to share one with you that particularly struck a chord with me that we actually did during Valentine's Day. Guys, you might want to pay attention to this one. It's one that you don't have to see, apparently. So anyway, that was one of the ones we did for Valentine's Day. You'll see more of that as well. Also, before I move off of eBay, I want to make sure I highlight a couple things. One, Gary. Gary, where are you at? Are you in here, Gary? Gary. Trying to see Gary in here. All right. So we've got Gary, who's leading our top-rated seller presentation that some of you guys may have went to today. We've obviously got one tomorrow as well. And then we also have a panel for you guys to all go and ask questions that you've got. As well, tonight, I really want to get more feedback from you guys on how we are doing at eBay and other things that we can do to help your business on the marketplace as well. Third business unit,